Hello everyone, welcome to Urbanscape, Bangalore. And this is the Plant of the Month series. And we will be covering the Clematis, Gouriana or the Indian Traveler's Joy. This looks so similar to the Clematis terniflora that I will keep the name open-ended for the Clematis experts to come to a conclusion. Since we get this in India and the Gouriana is a native of Asia, my bets are on the Gouriana. In Telugu, this is called the Pedutivva. This is a great perennial plant if you want to add summer fragrance into your garden. This is a climbing or vining plant that gives out clusters of these white blooms that are extremely fragrant, and the fragrance is a mix of honey and jasmine. The blooms remain in bud form for a very long time before they unfurl. The blooms are four-petaled and look ordinary as a single unit, but when they bloom in clusters, they almost look like a resplendent bridal bouquet. Expect blooms in this plant from April to August in warmer countries, so roughly around the summer to monsoon months. However, during winters, the plant goes dormant. Now, let's look at the different care conditions and other characteristics of this plant. Sunlight. So I have observed that though this can take full sun, it performs better under partial sunlight conditions. That could mean a covered southwest facing balcony. This is my observation that some of the leaves char under full sun, and that would cause stress in the plant and could affect its blooming. Watering. Now this plant is definitely not drought tolerant and needs consistent watering during summers and reduced watering during the dormant winter months. Rains are also, as far as I have observed, a trigger for this plant to bloom. Potting mix. Now I must admit that this plant is in its nursery bought container and I have not replanted it. But after observing this for a year, I can say that this likes a well-draining medium which is rich in organic matter. So you could use 30% garden soil, 40% compost and 30% well-draining mediums like sand, cinder, vermiculite, etc. Fertilizer. I've never used any chemical fertilizer for this plant and I just rely on organic kitchen scraps and used coffee grounds during the January to March months or whenever you see the outside temperature is getting warmer. Now, though this plant gives out these funky little seed pods with a feathery tail, seed propagation is seldom done due to the poor rate of germination. This feathery structure helps with the wind dispersal of the seeds. However, a simple stem cutting can give you a new plant. Take a thick green stem that is not too new. Ensure the cutting has at least 3 nodes in it. Leave 2 or 3 leaves intact and bury the last node into a well-draining mix of sand, compost and garden soil. Do this during the summer to monsoon months. Water every day and you will get a new plant most probably. Any updates on this propagation will be shared on Instagram or in another video. Support. Now this plant is a twining plant that needs support to perform really well and bloom. So giving it a trellis like this will prevent it from flopping over. Like most climbers, you could give the roots some shade and train the plant onto a wall that gets full sun. Pest. This plant does not exhibit too many pest susceptibility qualities but can be prone to fungal infection if watering is lax. Trimming. So you can trim this plant maybe around January for it to start giving out new shoots and thereby you could get more blooms. Do not overprune. Toxicity. Now many varieties of Clematis is known to be slightly toxic and I have read boiling or drying the leaves help remove the toxic compounds. But I would still err on the side of caution here and leave this one out of my mouth, and so must you and your pets. Medicinal value. This plant and many Clematis species are known to have many medicinal compounds in them, but I would still advise you to practice caution and read credible scientific journals to learn more about this aspect. I've added a credible source in the description box for those interested. Invasiveness. So most clematis species are invasive, and since the Gouriana is a native of India, I'm assuming it's still okay to grow this here. But if your zone identifies this as an invasive species, then don't grow this. For now, with whatever research I've done, the Gouriana isn't identified as an invasive species compared to the tawny flora. So, folks, during this beautiful rainy season, if you want a shower of fragrant flowers, the Clematis Gouriana is not only the plant of the month, but is also the plant of the season. And with this, we've come to the end of yet another episode of Urbanscape Bangalore, and I really hope you enjoyed this particular program. Additionally, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The links are given below. And always remember, to grow slow is to grow well. Thank you for watching, and until we meet again, a very warm goodbye.